Hey friends, Katie, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So today's video is going to be another palette bingo, and I'm super excited because I'm going to do it on the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette today. This is one of their older palettes, so I thought it'd be fun to do this today. I wanted to do like a full collection. Actually, I did a full-on Too Faced whole collection pen palette version. It wasn't the last one I did, but it was the one before that, and I definitely want to do one again soon, so maybe I'll do one in a couple of weeks. I'm actually debating on filming it tomorrow, sidetrack, but this is what the colors look like, so that's kind of what we have to work with today. I like this one because it's kind of cool toned, and I don't really play with cool tone shadows too much, so I thought it'd be fun to do it on this one today. And I have no face makeup on because I don't really know how this look is going to turn out or what colors we're gonna get. But if you've never seen a palette bingo before, basically I'm going to pick 5 different shades out of this palette, and I'm gonna have to create a look with just those. So I'm gonna have a random number generator generate those numbers for me, and that's how we're gonna do it today. And I'm super excited to be filming this, and I love doing palette bingos. If you have any requests for any palettes I should do palette bingo on, I've also done a series of them on my IGTV before, so be sure to check those out. I believe they're in a playlist or a series on there. But yeah, I'm really excited, so let's just get right into it. So there is 16, so I'm gonna have Alexa generate numbers from 1 to 16, and this should be a real fun time.
I don't know that one.
Alexa, not yet. Alexa, pick a number from 1 to 16.
Here's a number between 1 and 16. It's 9.
Okay, we got a pretty good starting out shade. We got this nice deep brown. I'm hoping we get like a lighter shade because that's pretty dark to just start on my crease, and that's a little scary. But I think that's like a good starting shade. Alexa, generate a number from 1 to 16.
It's 13.
Ooh, this one's kind of scary. It's a gray. See how this one swatches though? It's looking like a gray. Oh, actually, it's not too gray, but it is applying not how I was expecting. It's almost like a purpley brown, so it's not applying as expected, but I think that one will be a fun one to just pop in our crease. I'm hoping we get a shimmer next because we've gotten like pretty much all matte so far out of the 2 shades I've swatched so far. Alexa, pick a number from 1 to 16.
16 is 8.
Okay, so we finally got a shimmer, and it's a silvery color, and I know it's huge. Oh, actually, that swatched really pretty. Like in the pan, it looks like a silver, but it's swatching like a brownish, which kind of reminds me of a duochrome because it looks silver in the pan. Like, tell me that doesn't look like silver. That one, totally silver. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 16.
Your random number between 1 and 16 is 12.
Okay, we got another dark brown, and this is our 4th shade. So that one's actually pretty, and I think I can definitely imagine how I will apply that. It's also very similar to the 1st shade. Hoping the 5th shade is even a lighter color, but we'll see. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 16.
The random number between 1 and 16 is 1.
Perfect. So the first one is a perfect inner corner color. This is a very interesting color palette, but I'm really excited, so let's play with it. I definitely didn't get a color I was expecting, but I think I'll be able to make definitely a nice color story with these. I'm gonna try and stick to this palette, but we'll kind of see. And I just washed my eye brushes the other day, so they're generally pretty clean. Okay, so I'm first gonna just start out with didn't prime yet, so I'll just do it on camera and take my e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer, which is my favorite eye primer recently. I got this a couple months ago, and I can't tell you how obsessed I am with it. So obsessed with it. It is so amazing. If you're looking for a nice creamy but sticky eye base, or not sticky but like tacky eye base, this is definitely the one for you. It gives you a nice base for eyeshadows. So good. I love it so much. Then I'm just gonna be setting with this Cashew 2 shade, and I used to love this palette more than I do now, I'd say, but I don't think it's a bad palette anymore. I just don't use it as often. I've honestly fallen out of love with Too Faced stuff, if that makes any sense. Like, I honestly don't have anything from them at the current moment, and I just forgot to put my eye drops in, so my eyes are gonna be dealing with something today. That's okay. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start out with Almond Truffle. That was like one of the last shades. That was the last shade that I got. So I'm just gonna take Almond Chew and take a little bit of it. This is actually a shade I sometimes use for my crease. I don't think I always start out with this when I would use this palette. I actually haven't used this palette in a very long time, so it's definitely interesting using it again. But I'm definitely gonna get a nice, pretty, cool toned look today. It's just something different than I do in the everyday, but I'm just gonna basically sloppily put that in my crease and kind of my outer corner, but not really. And I'm gonna go a little bit heavier on this side because I didn't really. That looks kind of crazy, but good thing we did like this part first. Then I gotta use the Pecan, like the grayish shade. I'm just gonna take this little bit smaller brush and take that, and I'm going to kind of put it on the outer corner and then go in with it. It's actually a pretty nice shade, especially using it how I am. I honestly could see myself panning this palette. I used to think I wouldn't pan like every palette I have, like there's only certain palettes I'd pan, but I've realized with panning as more palettes come out that I just like fall out of love with some of my older palettes. Like Too Faced used to be my go-to for shadows, and these days it's really not. Now I'm gonna go into the deepest brown, which is the Bordeaux shade. That was the first shade that I ended up picking. I'm gonna take this angled brush, and I'm only gonna take a little bit, and then I'm gonna go kind of on my outer part of my eye with this, kind of gonna put in the outer corner of my crease and then blend it in. And yeah, I'm only taking a little bit of that so that way it's not too intense, but I'm really gonna make sure to deepen the outer corner with that. It's definitely a different vibe, but I think it's very pretty. So now I'm gonna take my NYX glitter glue, which is something I always do, and I'm gonna go ahead and place it onto my lid like so, just to get like a tacky base for the shimmer that I'm gonna be using. The shimmer that I was selected by my good friend Alexa. You know what I mean. Hopefully you know what I mean. Did you get that? I'm gonna take this flat brush and take Katiexobeauty. Probably butchering that, but that's okay. See, it looks silver, but when I swatched on my hand, it didn't look silver. That's so weird. But I'm gonna just apply this to my lid. Okay, so now that all my makeup is on. Okay, so this is what the eyes look like with all my makeup on. And fun fact, I have to refilm this because the other clip I filmed got corrupted and I'm so irritated. It's been a very irritating day in my household for me. We love that, but I'm really obsessed with what the eyes look like. It's definitely not the look I was going for, and it's giving me prom vibes, which I'm not hating, but I do love the full look together. I don't know, I just feel like it looks so good, and I just love it so much. And I also applied Satin Cheats, which is that like pinkish tone, the huge shade that's staring right at you. And then I also applied Satin Sheets, which is that one, this one, to like my inner corner a little more. Why not? Now, it also looks good if you just pat a little bit on your cheekbones as like an extra highlight. I just love that. And I'm also wearing Aquarius lip gloss. It's in my project pan on my lips today. I will try to put all the makeup I'm wearing down below. But like I said, I'm obsessed with how this turned out and stuff like that. And yeah, it's gonna be it for this palette bingo. I really want to do more of these, so if you have any recommendations for like what palettes I should pick, let me know down below. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below also any other videos you'd like to see next. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.